I'm Anitra Terrell, owner of Reflection Design, Afro-modern home decor. And I'm passionate about telling the stories of how we express joy at home using the art and textiles of our roots. So join me as I take a closer look at the lives and homes of men and women across the African diaspora. This is how we live.
Hi, I'm Anitra Terrell with ReflectionDesign.com, and this is How We Live, the show that celebrates the lives and homes of people across the African diaspora. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Emily Auffrey, a New York-based nurse and content creator. In this episode, you'll learn where to place your plants so they thrive and how to add more joy to your home with color and art. Plus, you'll get some DIY projects you can incorporate today. So, let's get into it. Emily, tell us about your home and some unique things about it.
Okay, so we're in New York City and we live in an apartment. It's about 990 square feet, but I think they fibbed on the floor plan. I think it's a little less. We do have a big outdoor space terrace. It's about 700 square feet, which is bigger than one of our studio apartments that we lived in that was only 500 square feet. So we love that we have that outdoor space. What else? It's a high-rise building. There's 35 floors, and I think there's about like 990 units, almost the same.
Wow.
Yeah, and within the building. So like getting packages is so hard because they all go to the front desk and they have to like get logged. The building was built in 2015. And this is actually an affordable housing building. So in New York City, there's some initiative for affordable housing. So the apartments, the rent is based on your income.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
We need more of those.
They do.
A lot more.
Do you have that in Atlanta at all?
I'll have to look into that. I know there's a lot of plans in the works to build more affordable housing units, but it's definitely something that we need across the country, really.
Yeah.
So I'm excited that you were able to find a space like
Yes.
that, and that's
And
how
it's
it
like
should be,
it
based on
really
your
should.
income. Yeah.
And it's a lottery, so I kind of won the lottery to get into the
What?
Yes.
That's
It's a lottery
amazing.
system. Mm-hmm.
Now, how would you describe your style in 3 words, and
3
who
words.
or what influenced that style?
So definitely boho. Is plant a style? Biophilic is the word.
Right.
And warm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Cozy, warm.
And one of the things, speaking of plants, one of the things I love about your style is your use of plants. You are not afraid to have a bunch of plants in your home, and I love that. How did you get into plants, and when did that start?
So I got into plants during the pandemic, which some people also call the plant-demic, because there was a lot of us that got into plants during that time because we're stuck at home.
Yeah.
But prior to that, I unalived a lot of plants. And this is a realization that I've had recently, is that when you're being creative, you don't have to be perfect. And I think that stops a lot of people from starting a hobby, such as plants.
Right.
You just gotta go for it. And I want to show you this book, coffee table book. Not really coffee table, but book. Camille Dungy, she wrote a book called Soil. Do you know her, Camille?
I don't.
And which one's her book? This one's hers. Soil. I took the book cover off because more aesthetically pleasing would take the cover off. But she is an African American woman, and she started a wild flower garden from scratch. And to me, she was like an expert. And when I was reading her book, when she started digging, she was actually using a kid's toy shovel and didn't even know it. Yes. And she's an expert. So you just have to start. You don't have to have the right tools.
Right. That's a good example.
Yes.
Just start. I think, especially going into a new year, I think it's a good time to to focus on that point. Whatever the hobby is, or even if it's starting a business or
Yeah,
getting into shape, changing your eating habits, just start. Whatever it is,
just
just
start.
start. I love
Hmm.
that. Um, but one of the main, well, there's not one main thing. There's a lot of things I love about your home. But one of the things that we have to talk about next is that view.
I
It is
know.
off the charts, off the charts. And when you combine the view with the fact that you won a lottery to get into your home, all of that is a complete blessing. But that
It
means that
is.
you get a lot of natural light into your
Yes.
home. So how do you, when you do have a home with a lot of natural light, how do you situate and organize your plants so that they benefit from that, but aren't getting too much to where it might damage them?
Yeah. So, um, so in New York City, a lot of the times the dining room and living room are one room.
Mm.
And this is where I have most of my plants. And the windows are south and was it west facing. It's really important to know which way your windows face for your plants.
Okay.
So in this room, it's mostly bright indirect light. So I have my plants that are bright indirect light tolerant in here. And then the ones that can't really take too much light, which doesn't really happen very often with plants. They love light, most of them. There's only a few I can think of that don't like that type of light. I would keep them in my bedroom, which is just the west facing window. And then my son has the south facing window in his room. And south facing is typically where you're gonna get that bright direct light, which can burn your leaves. But, like cactuses love that type of light and succulents.
Mm.
And I really don't like it that the grocery stores put all the succulents out all the time. And like, like when you're checking out, you see them and you're like, oh, it's so pretty. You just want to grab it. Those are one of the hardest plants I feel to keep alive. I cannot keep that plant alive.
Really?
Yes.
Now you said succulents are the hard ones, or
I
cactus?
I think a cactus
Or
is hard too. Yeah, they're
okay.
kind of the same. But they need a lot of light, and you have to be very,
Mm.
very careful with the watering.
Okay, so great tip, everybody watching. Figure out where the light is coming in your home. Is it south
Yes.
facing, north facing? And then situate your plants based on that. Keeping in mind, do they like a lot of light or not a lot of light? I love that. Thank you for that tip.
Yeah. I
Um,
actually just learned
oh, go ahead.
that south facing bright direct light. I just learned that from the plant blurred. She's on Instagram. She's amazing. She has a great ton of great tips on plants.
So, where do you get your inspiration from when it comes to decorating with plants? And is there a particular way to go about it, or you just kind of do whatever feels good to you?
For my plants,
Yes.
so I got into plants during the pandemic, but that's also when I was introduced to Hilton Carter. I don't know if you know him, and
Yeah. Hmm.
Justina Blakeney. And I was like, oh my God, it's people that look like me doing things that I love. Um, so inspiration was behind for the plants is Hilton Carter, and I'm gonna have his here, and it's really burnt out. That's the thing about my head. I love about homes is because I love lived in look. I'm not
Hmm.
very much into like the curated. I like a
Mm,
worn out book, I like the occasion. I have a 7-year-old. I like the occasional even like handprint that he puts on my mirror, and I'm like, oh, he was here
right.
having fun. And this is my son's favorite book of mine, which I love that. I'm turning him a little planty already. So definitely Hilton Carter. And this book is called Wild Interiors, and it's got a whole bunch of inspiration of
Mm,
people's homes and places that are filled with plants. Uh,
love that. So
yeah,
I glad that you're mentioning the books because if you're feeling stuck or you're not sure where to even start, there are
right.
several great books out there on
That book is
decorating. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It happens. We're live.
the
It
room's like a
happens.
holding.
Um,
So, but you also, now let's get into, we talked about the plants. Now let's get into the warm side of your home, the colors, the culture, the patterns. Why was it important for you to decorate with African decor and other types of cultural elements?
So I'm an African American woman, and I grew up with nothing African inspired in my home growing up. But I always knew I loved home decor. I remember distinctly, I grew up in Ohio, and I was in the backyard with my sister. It was like a summer day. We're on like this really weathered picnic table, and I was writing down like every single thing I was gonna buy. I think I was 10. I was gonna buy when I moved out and where I was gonna buy my stuff from. So
At
that's how
10.
deep. At 10, yes. I even wrote like 40 hangers from like Dollar General. I remember this. And I was so excited. So I've always had a love for home decor. And I think the African inspired, and I love to support Black creatives and artists. And I think a lot of this started during the George Floyd times and the Black Lives Matter movement. So it's very important to me to now have a reflection of myself in my home.
Yes, that's very important.
Yeah. And I
Now
realized
more
that's
than
what
ever.
your name is, your brand. I was like, what? That's what it is.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I
And that's
love
what
it.
reflection design is all about, creating a home that reflects who you are.
Yep, I
Um,
love it.
Now, what's one piece of advice you would give someone who is interested in incorporating more cultural elements? Because you have pillows, you have baskets on the wall.
Yeah.
Um, what's one piece of advice you'd give them?
Um, I feel like I have a few, but you definitely need to know the story behind the pieces. You just don't want to buy something because it's pretty. You want to learn about what is that pattern? Who made that? Did it come from a place that's ethically sourcing the
Mhm.
materials? Are the workers getting paid fairly? Um, it's not like just buying, a light bulb. This is someone's culture, and
Right.
we have to respect that.
So, respecting the culture,
Hmm.
understanding. What about the plant side? What's one piece of advice for someone wanting to incorporate more plants?
More plants. Know your lighting in your
Yes,
home.
definitely.
Yes, and don't let fear scare you. This one of my I don't know, it was like a mantra, but last year it was like do it and do it scared. Just go for it. Do it scared. That's when the biggest moments happen, I feel.
Yeah, and I think that's the underlying theme of our conversation today is do it, just go for it, do it scared, even if you don't have the right tools. Uh,
Yep.
just.
Physically not even the right tools and still making it work.
Now, what types of I mentioned baskets, but what other types of African decor do you have in your home?
Okay, so one of my favorites. This one actually started. Oop, I'm actually singeing it as I'm. This one started my African inspired decor. This is made. I don't want to say the name wrong. She lives in Canada, so it's in French. She Kewitu, but also known as Intentional Decor by Dawn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is a mud cloth. Oh, you know her?
Yes. Yes, I do.
I love Dawn. I
Yeah,
love her.
she's the best.
So this is my first piece, and this is called Spirit of the Kindness. So I have this mirror, my mirror, and when I look into it as a reflection of me, I want to see the kindness that I have and that I can share with others.
Hmm.
So this is one of my favorites, Raffia. I'm pretty sure this is Much Raw. Um, and then I also have another piece from her that I love. Oh, this is- oop, that's the back. She sourced these jewelry pieces herself too at a market. And this one, is just so she had a whole collection of called Spread Love. And this one is Spread Love through giving. So I have this in my bedroom, and when I walk past it, I'm reminded that I need to spread love by giving to others. That can be your time, energy. It doesn't have to be money.
Hmm.
I think this is mud cloth too. I love this. Very pretty. And then I have this. This is Ankara, right? Ankara
Yes.
fan. This we got, and I love the stories behind the pieces. This was a trip where I took my son to, and my husband and I took our son to Harlem for the day,
Hmm.
and it was just so nice that we got to give him that experience at such a young age, and we got this fan at one of the shops there, and I got two, we got two, and I use it just as a regular fan, and I use it as wall art, which I've seen you do too on
Yes,
your page.
yes, yes. The fans are great. The fans are great for that. I like to call
Yes,
it
aren't they?
functional art.
Yes. And then, I saw your post on Instagram and you had been describing the patterns and their meaning
Yes.
of I love that. Okay, so then I have this DIY that I recently did with an African inspired pattern. I had found these boxes in the trash room and I hot glued them together and I just added my little touch by doing this pattern with paint and just a Q-tip, not even a paintbrush. And there's a little drawer organizer.
That's a beautiful idea. And it looks really simple too.
Yeah, it's very simple.
Now, at Reflection Design, our mantra is see yourself at home. Emily, how does your home reflect who you are and how you live in it?
I'm sorry, could you repeat it?
At Reflection Design, our mantra is see yourself at home.
See
Uh,
yourself at home.
yes, yes. How does your home reflect who you are and how you live in it?
I always, just to preface this, my answer, I always say your home should be, yeah, a reflection of you and what makes you happy, not anyone else. And for me, I want to be comfortable. I want to feel safe. Um, I want to feel at ease. This is my little retreat. So for me to feel comfortable, I gravitate towards warm colors and a lot of fabrics, coziness for me, pillows, textures, um, and then also seeing African inspired art or just art by Black artists. And then also styling my home off inspiration of Black creatives like Hilton Carter and Justina Blakeney, and the real Afrohemian. I don't know if you know her, Whitney Boyd. I
Yes,
love
yes,
her home.
yes. That's beautiful. She's here in Atlanta too.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So you have to come visit.
I do. I really do now.
So creating a space that's warm and cozy.
What makes
That
you
is,
happy? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Those are excellent points. Now let's get into our lightning round.
Okay.
Emily, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to mind. If your home had a theme song, what would it be?
Um, does it have to be like a popular theme song or just any song?
No, it's your home.
There's a song I always put on my stories, and it's called "I Woke Up Feeling Grateful." I can't remember who sings it. Yep, everything that it goes, I woke up feeling grateful. Everything that I prayed for came true. I'm feeling so grateful. Yeah, I think it would be that.
I love that. Send me a message with who the artist is, and I'll
Okay.
include it in the description so we can all
Yeah,
listen to it.
yeah, I would love to share that with you guys.
If you were hosting a dinner party, what three people would you invite?
It can be anyone.
Mhm.
Oh, my inspirations. Hilton, Justina, Whitney Boyd, you. That's
Oh,
four.
thank you. Um, and where do you go for cultural inspiration? Whether it's a place, a building, nature. Where do you go when you want to feel inspired?
Inspired, definitely outdoors. Um, and when it's cold outside, I just look out the window.
Yeah, that's
I like
all. Yeah.
nature, but I don't like that like hiking aspect. Maybe just a little hike, but not like 3 miles or anything. A hike and then like sit down and enjoy the view. There's
Mm,
a park in front of our apartment, and there's a couple little quiet spots that I like to go to when it's nice out.
okay, I love that. Um, what are some?
Think of a good one here. When you travel, what's one thing you always bring back?
I bring back. I don't know. I'm becoming more intentional with things that I buy. So it might not be, that I bring back. So maybe it's gonna be like a memento of something that I did that's not necessarily like a chopped ski or something. Maybe like for example, we went to Long Beach on a family vacation, and I got seashells when we were on the beach, and I made a DIY picture frame, and I hot glued the seashells around, and then I put a picture of us on the vacation inside the picture frame.
Oh, that's perfect. That is perfect.
Yeah, I gifted that to my mother-in-law for Christmas.
Oh, even better. So a family memento and a gift, like it checks all the boxes.
Yep.
That's perfect. And it's so much more intentional.
Yes.
And I think travel is on a lot of people's mind this year.
Oh.
So that's something to think about if you plan on traveling this year. How to be more intentional about not only what you do at the destination, but the things that you bring back, and how you can incorporate those things into your home.
Yes.
So thank you for that.
Yeah. And you can also decorate with the seashells too, obviously. Put them in baskets. That's just one thing I can think off the top of my head.
Yeah, no, seashells are great. I remember people would have them a lot on their bathroom counters in a basket.
Yeah.
Or
That's where I have
even
them.
by plants, kind of decorating around the plant.
Yeah.
So seashells are great. Keep that in mind if you're going to a beachy destination. Grab some shell. Emily, where can we find you online?
So I recently changed my Instagram handle from my name to Joy Blooms at Home, because home is like the best place for joy. And joy is such an important word, especially in the Black culture. So I'm like, let's do it. Let's change the name. That was kind of like my tagline. And now I'm like, I'm going to make it my handle. So Joy Blooms at Home on Instagram. And I recently started a blog, so it's not fully up and running yet, but it's just emilyauffrey.com.
Love that. And I will include all of Emily's links in the description. So
Thank you.
Everyone can follow her. Can't wait to see the blog pop in. I'm sure there's going to be lots more info regarding plants and adding warmth and joy to your home. And it sounds like some DIY stuff is coming, correct? Some DIY tips?
Yes, yeah, DIY.
Yes, love that. Love that. Emily, thank you so much for being on the show. I've loved having you. It's been a great conversation.
Thank you, Anitra. It was so nice to be here. And I literally love everything on your website. I was browsing it before I got on. And I was like, I need this. I need that.
Thank you. Yes. I appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah. And I love that you're like a one-stop shop. You get like everything, kitchenware, decor, wall art, regular art, everything. And I love every single piece. So thank you for offering that to us. Just because it's hard to find African inspired art for me, especially all in one spot. And I love that you do source it and you do your research about who you're getting your things from. So I really appreciate that you doing that for us.
Thank you. Thank you for that promo.
Yes.
She said that on her own. She was not paid to say that. But I do appreciate that, and that's definitely the goal for Reflection Design, is to be a one-stop shop, but also provide some knowledge and information, so you can incorporate pieces in your home that you love, but you also know where they came from and what they do. So I
feel all the love that you put in. I really do.
Thank you, and thank you everyone for watching. This is how we live.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And to add more style and culture to your home, shop reflectiondesign.com.